Welcome to Dr. Kenton Wakes Up. I'm Dr. Kenton. Today is Wednesday, March 6th, 2024. It's a special event today because I'm going to show you how I make a pour over using a Melitta plastic pour over cone type filter. Number 2, please. And here's the paper filter. So I'm going to show you. You got to fold this is pleated around 2 edges so it can fold out into a cone shape. Show you what that looks like if you fold it out. If you fold it out without any adjustments, you'll see that you've got a margin at the bottom that doesn't sit right in the filter. So you got to fold the bottom. I fold it one direction, and then I fold the side crease over in the opposite direction. I don't think it matters. And you can see that it opens out better. There's no margin at the bottom to interfere with it sitting all the way down in there. Now, if you watch other coffee production videos, they will oftentimes wet that. Right or wrong, I don't. Just to make sure that it's hot, you can see that the little blue light came on there. This is a 2 tablespoon measuring cup. I heat that up as much as it'll take. The instructions call for 1 or 2 tablespoons level, but if I'm gonna go to the trouble making 1 cup at a time, I want to be able to taste it. All right, so you take the hot water that's just finished boiling. In a trick of pre-production, I heated that up to boiling before I turn the camera on, and then I prefer, all the grounds float to the top of the water, and if you let them settle, they'll settle evenly on the sides of the filter. But what that means is that the stuff in the middle doesn't touch the hot water as long, and so you don't get the flavor out of that as much. So I shake it to keep the grounds all floating, I guess. There's another word for it. I want them to be suspended in the liquid as much as possible, so that I get the coffee goodness. All right, so we're almost done. It's almost run through the filter. And in my learned expertise about this topic, a mug this size, which is what you'd buy in a souvenir shop, you fill that all the way up to the top, as I did, without running over. It fills that almost exactly to the level that I like. And then, I forgot a spoon. Hold on a second. The next step is to put in some of the creamer powder. And the reason I'm getting a spoon is, if you remember from the Advent calendar videos, I have a patented one swipe stir technique. But to make the stir technique work, you got to get the soluent, the part that's going to be dissolved, needs to be in the liquid first. All right, so watch this. Start down one side of the cup, the mug, sweep quickly, briskly. You want to make some vortices in there. One thing that I learned, this is random, came to my mind, trivia. What I learned is that different cultures in the world stir hot coffee or hot beverages differently. Where in the United States, we tend to swirl around the outside of the cup. And you can test this for yourself at home. If you do that, what you do is you create a place in the very center, the bottom center of the vessel, where the water doesn't move very much. So that's where all the stuff goes and accumulates, undissolved, I would say. Okay. Whereas in other cultures, they make a Z shape or a zigzag. I apologize if the word zigzag is somehow culturally insensitive. It's a back and forth. Start on one edge. You got the spoon like this, and you put it against the edge. You're not, it's not flat against the edge. It's touching just on the, and you sort of swirl back and forth all the way across. And that way you create vortices throughout the liquid, giving every molecule, I guess, of the solid that you want to dissolve in the liquid a chance to touch liquid so that it will dissolve. That's really hot. Um, so today is Wednesday, the 6th of March. We have a candidate for one of our positions. I'm not on the committee for that position, but the professional thing to do when you're hiring in your department is to make yourself available to participate in all of the public interview events. Number one, to give to put people in the room so the candidate's not just um, presenting or whatever to a group of people that they've seen all day long, but that's the committee. And also number two, so that you're informed and aware of who is possibly going to become your colleague for the next length of time, a couple years. In in my uh, in my experience, you're looking at 3 to 5 years on average. And I say that people who understand the tenure process know that you serve for 5 years, and then in the sixth year, there's a decision whether they want to offer you a permanent position. Um, that's called tenure. It doesn't mean you can stop working. It doesn't mean that you somehow that your job is easier. What it is that as long as you continue making your steady career progress, there will be an opportunity for them to keep you employed. All right. So anyway, so that usually is 5 years of pre-tenure, and then tenure review is during the sixth year, and then you'd think that everybody who gets hired would stay for 5 years, but sometimes those people, uh, you're not just there. Your humanness, your humanity, your personhood doesn't just include the requirements that you have for your professional teaching, research, and service position. You also have this stuff outside of that called life. Sometimes your family, the other people in your family, may be really unhappy, or maybe an opportunity that you've dreamed about since the time you were a little kid becomes available. You apply for it and you get it. Or as the folks who are about my age are starting to recognize that they're called upon to take care of aging relatives. And so those kinds of things would tend to pull person out of the applicant pool or the stay for 5 years pool, whatever you want to call that. All right, so anyway, today those things are starting. I have to leave here around 9, which is about 2 hours from now. Woke up a little earlier today at my own peril. I woke up and recognize that I've got some stuff to do before I leave around 9. So I need, felt like it was probably better for me to try and get most of those done before I start feeling stressed out about it. Now, the veteran observers, not that you served in the armed forces, but somebody who's seen some of these episodes knows that my principal goal is to get 7 hours of sleep, and today I got 6.25. Sorry, I could have gone to bed a little earlier last night. I just got caught up in a project that I thought I could finish quick, and it didn't go that way. My fault. It was my fault. Um. Anyway, so the moral of the story is do your best. Always do your best. Um, Participate when there's a hiring decision going on around you. Don't view that as an opportunity to not participate or an opportunity for you not to do the work, because what you're doing is setting yourself up to be, the kind term is unaware, the more pointed term is ignorant of who you're going to be asked to work with in the future. And whether, you're not going to make a decision on whether you hire somebody based on that, but knowing that a person has a particular point of view on certain topics may give you some insight into projects that you might want to work on with this person. Okay, so that's advice. As always, this entire thing is just me babbling on about nonsense. The subtitle is Adventure Series in Mild Confusion. And tell you what, if I didn't get you there today, it ain't going to happen. Love you. Bye.